Hier geht's nicht, ne? Hier kann man rein. Okay. Guten Tag. Boah, 16. 17. Alter. Oha. Der hält mehr aus, aber... Aua. Hey, du Arschloch. Was machst du? Au. Alter. Der hat aber reingehauen. Aber trotzdem, guck mal, wie wenig er abgezogen hat. Alter, der Unterschied zwischen dem... Guck mal, das eine ist zu leicht und das eine ist zu schwer. Deswegen ist im Story-Modus, heißt er... Die ist eine Eiferwand. Cool. Schön Babyschreien, ey. Hier drin waren wir nicht, ne? Patronen. Okay. Ach, hier geht's noch weiter. Große Pillendose. Hey, wo kommen wir denn hier hin? Oh, da ist irgendwas. Oh, 17. Oh. Ein Brief. Und eine Waffe. Abgenutzter Priven-Block. Das war's, ne? Gut. Und dann gehen wir runter. Das ist ein bisschen assi, ne? Guck mal, das ist jetzt irgendwie... gehört zur Karte. Ich verstehe es nicht. Okay. Und das ist alles hinter uns. Ja, hier sind auch keine mehr. Ach, hier sind wir, okay. Kann das sein, aber dass die Level höher geworden sind von denen? Ach, das ist, hey. Hey, warum ist denn hier das Tor auf? Also es war ja, stimmt ja. Hier hinter war ja... So, gib mal. So, darf ich mal futtern. Was schreit denn für ein Baby rum? Sag mal. Ich guck mal erstmal unten. Hey! Schau mal hier, hey! Schweinebacke, hey! So. Oha. Der Endgegner von, Okay. War mal.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked or white. Popöchen. Was sonst gibt's hier nichts Besonderes. Dafür, dass so ein Undertaker auf einmal hier lauert. Wo kommen wir hier hin? Wollt ihr auf die Schnauze? Hey. Aua. Aua, aua. Oha. Okay. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Was hast du? Achso, der ist. Der hat nur gezuckt. Ah, Junge. So, hier liegt noch eine Frau. Ey.
This is despicable.
Macht es aber, sagt es aber, macht es. Ey, weil diese Müllschnüffler hier, was soll das? Er ist voll der Cheater. Wie cheaten die eigentlich? Aber das ist ja eigentlich vom Spiel ja zugeben. Voll leicht. Mit der Verfassung. Mach ich das was? Die Poster zu lesen? Wo sind wir hier? What the fuck? Was? Oh mein Gott, hä? Weißt du was? Ich gehe der Hauptstory nach. So ein bisschen Zeit ziehen. Dann kann ich ja auch die ganze Welt hier erstmal erkunden. Verlaufe ich mich nachher. Hier. So, ich will die. Ich beruhige den einmal. Ah, das sind diese. Boah, du Assi. Boah. Echt, ey. Was für ein Assi. Was sind das für Pedendosen immer? Oh, was ist das? Wollschal. Von wem? Ich gucke mal alle Sätze noch durch. Ich weiß nämlich nicht. Haben wir alles, ne? Wollschal, von wem ist denn der? Haben wir wieder irgendeine Quest gemacht? So, jetzt aber... Wohin? Hi. Ach so. Boah, was ist das denn? Boah, wer ist das denn? Scheiße, ich hab keine Ausdauer mehr. Brrr. Hast gehört? Rote Kreuznummer.
Stunned me with his face. His crucifix. This is not good news.
Kurzfix? Kurzfix nochmal. Ah, wo kommen wir denn jetzt hier hin? Och Mann, ey, immer so 20 verschiedene Wege. Die sehen doch alle hier gleich aus. Wir müssen hier runter, ne? Ach ja, hier. Okay. Jetzt weiß ich ja wieder, wo wir sind. Ah, ja. Was sagst du da? Ich soll sterben. Aua. Ey. Boah. Die Ausdauer. Oder geh mal auf den Sack, der Typ. Ah, ey. Was für ein Pisser. Hier durch, ne? Oder? Oder hier durch. Hier nicht. Hier zu verschlotzen. Boah. Mit Gewalt Kisten. Wo kommen wir denn hier hin? Secret. Oh mein Gott.
It's locked.
Oh, schade. Schade, schade, schade. Schade, jetzt haben wir's. Secret, wir haben's. So, wir sind da.
Whitechapel.
Unterschlupf.
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fella.
Schrotpatronen. Oh. Ui. Genau. Ich habe mir schon gedacht. Zigarettenetui und Ring. Boah, ihr liegt überall. Alter.
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Haben wir hier was? Ja. Rostige Pillendose. Aha. Was ist das denn jetzt?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Ach du Scheiße.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her.
Hey, schützt aber den
One of
Kopf.
the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what you do around here?
I'll do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Warte mal. Ah, wir haben einen neuen Stammbaum. Ach, krass. Es gibt mehrere. Vier. Mhm. Alter, immer noch einige Leute.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Goodbye, Mr. Peters.
Okay. Ah, hier lief da eben noch einer rum, ne? Da. Hey.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed.
Hier aus dem
I would
Gollum.
like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea
Hey.
Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No.
Ah, neue Untersuchung.
I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Das sind so Nebenaufgaben. Hat schon eine erledigt. Dann kommt das hier. Ah, da habe ich nichts. Okay. Handeln.
Right then. Show me.
Gewöhnlicher Griff. Ja, das ist kleiner. Ah, hier. So. Den brauche ich nämlich für meine Klinge. Also war komisch, wenn so verschiedene...
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then. Okay then. I'm on it. I'm Harry, by the way.
Die Tür so pinselmäßig aussieht, ne? So Art.
Suffering in this world.
Müssen wir jetzt erstmal klauen?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Ja, dann reden wir auch so gelangweilt, ne?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Oh, okay.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening
Ein bisschen
things.
Feigling,
So that's
ne?
why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Goodbye, young.
Oh, sorry.
Even my dreams.
Bin ich gerade gewohnt irgendwie. So Stück Claudi jetzt. Weil das ein Feigling ist. Ein Feige. Ist denn der Vater hier drin? Oder, hey, ich verstehe es nicht. Wo wir jetzt hier rein durften. Das ist ja groß, ne?
It's
Oh,
locked,
schade.
all right.
Schade. Schokolade. Das sind nur ein paar Euro-Stücke. Was ist das denn? Absagebrief. Oh. Mr. Patterson. Ach, er ist es. Ist noch was? Okay. Dann mal raus hier, ne? Aha.
You again? What do you want this time?
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Ah, okay. Schade, ich hätte verkackt.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else. Whatever he may think.
Das ist ganz klein.
Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We're poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Ich habe jetzt das Ding abgemacht. Hallo, hallo, hallo.
Please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you never go. We pay for decent work.
Can't just look the other way this week, Joe. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett.
Ich wusste gar nicht, dass man abschrauben kann.
Joe, how long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours for Christ's sake.
Ach ja, hier kam ich her. Hier kam ich her. Wer ist das denn? Ist am Singen?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is
Tobias.
always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Wissenschaftler, was?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses.
Die jeder
I
kennt, ne?
especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only
Was?
they have the necessary moral fibre.
Was bist du denn für ein Horst?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Okay.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Die Wissenschaft ist unsere einzige Hoffnung, doch wo ziehen sie die Grenze? Wir leben im 20. Jahrhundert.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Okay, wir haben trotzdem 9. Was statt schon, ich hätte verkackt.
What do you mean when you say...
Ja, jetzt habe ich ja schon. Ja, so ist. Ist immer noch nicht, keine Ahnung.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery.
Sehr komischer Typ, ne?
Pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on
Die
some
Heilige Kreuzung.
crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
I have heard...
Ich glaube, wir gehen langsam, also komm, wir gehen erstmal in die Richtung der Quest. Den kennen wir doch, ne? Sag mal.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Pinkelt der hier rum, ey. Ich glaube, es sagt. Federn. Ich guck mal. Komm, gehen wir rein.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
I must insist, sir. Please let me stay.
I have...
Oh. Finde Hinweise auf das, was die Darius... Aber wie? Oh, hier sind noch mehr Leute. Was ist das denn?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous
Loretta.
cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Warte mal, hier noch irgendwelche interessante Personen hier.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Goethe, okay. Ja, den einen Hinweis musst du noch gucken. Und die auch, okay. Alles,
Goodbye, Miss Ray.
alles Hinweise. Ja, handeln, ich weiß nicht. Hey.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing.
Aggressiver Mensch hier.
Say?
What? You saw what happened?
Der Benjamin.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real.
Oh, nein! Oh, fuck. Hab ich aus Versehen geklickt.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife. Albert's mother.
Wird dir eine längere Folge mit den ganzen Gesprächen, mach mal länger.
Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just faked me last nerve.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just...
Well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Okay. Toll.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Weil kommt. Ah nee, die kommt man nur handeln, ne? Du bist das. Die ganze, wer redet denn die ganze Zeit da? Wer redet denn hier? Wer redet denn da? Ach, das ist der. Der Sohn von ihm.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Vielleicht hat er dich verwechselt. Was du getan hast, ist unverzeihlich. Du hast hier eine Lektion.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Oh Gott, ey.
Goodbye,
dann.
young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me. The wet boots will be proud of me.
Stimmt, ich kann ja nicht smashen. Da ist zu. Hier hängt das. Ah. Wo kommen wir denn hier hin? Ach, hier sind wir, okay. Ja, dann haben wir ja so gut wie ihn. Ah, und das war hier. Ah, okay. Da wo die Typen waren, ne? Die gefightet haben. Jetzt mal.
Good evening, Ben.
Können wir mal wieder mit dem reden? Nee. Ah, hier.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it?
Ja, machte
Your
Gestik.
nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Sie müssen sich nicht schämen.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Okay, okay, okay. Hier ist nix. Okay.
A gun?
Können wir jetzt mal mit ihm reden?
How are you?
I'm not your...
Nee, okay.
Goodbye.
Ja, dann
Be proud of me.
verpiss ich mich halt. Dummer Jung. Oh. Das ist zu? Was ist das für Musik, ey? Kranke Musik. Kranke Musik.